The Pentagon has directed about 4,500 troops to the region atop the roughly 50,000 already there as tensions rise with Iran. They are reinforcing their outposts, bases and airfields. Washington, American military units stationed in Iraq and Syria are readying for attacks from either Iranian forces or their proxies after the drone strike that killed a senior Iranian general last week. It is unclear what an Iranian retaliatory attack would look like after the death of Maj. General Qasem Soleimani, an Iranian security and intelligence commander responsible for the deaths of hundreds of troops over the years, and Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis, a powerful Iraqi militia commander and government official. But already, American forces in the region are reinforcing their outposts, bases and airfields. The Pentagon has directed about 4,500 additional troops to the region atop the roughly 50,000 already there. New deployments to Iraq and Kuwait. The influx of new forces was prompted by several events: the death of an American contractor in Iraq during a rocket attack on December 27 carried out by an Iranian-backed militia. Protests around the United States Embassy in Baghdad afterward, following a series of American airstrikes on the militia, and last week's drone strike on General Soleimani and Mr. al-Muhandis. The new troops will act primarily as a defensive force, meant to reinforce American bases and compounds in the region and respond to a possible attack. No major ground offensives are planned for them. Which units are deploying roughly 4,000 troops, a brigade, from the 82nd Airborne Division based out of Fort Bragg, NC, have started deploying to Kuwait. They are part of the division's Global Response Force. A senior United States military officer said the deployment of the 82nd Airborne paratroopers and other ground forces was defensive, meant to position more troops in the Middle East who could be quickly deployed to defend or reinforce American embassies, consulates and military bases. Members of the brigade will not be able to deploy with their cell phones, one Defense Department official said, citing operational security. Roughly 100 other paratroopers from the 173rd Airborne Brigade Combat Team, based out of Vicenza, Italy, will also deploy to the Middle East, according to a Defense Department official. The officer noted that the planning for any larger conflict with Iran does not envision a vast land invasion like in the 1991 Persian Gulf War or the 2003 Iraq War. Instead, any prolonged conflict would rely more on air and naval forces, as well as cyber attacks, to hit Iranian targets or Iranian proxies, the officer said. There are between 45,000 and 65,000 American military personnel, the number can vary by the day, now deployed in Saudi Arabia and other Persian Gulf nations, including around 5,500 troops in Iraq and 600 in Syria. In response to Iranian attacks and provocations since May, the Pentagon deployed about 14,000 additional troops to the Persian Gulf region, including roughly 3,500 more to Saudi Arabia. The military assets include early warning aircraft, maritime patrol planes, Patriot air and missile defense batteries, B-52 bombers, a carrier strike group, armed Reaper drones and other engineering and support personnel. Roughly 2,000 American troops are in Turkey, mostly based at Incirlik Air Base. Despite recent tensions with a fellow NATO country, the United States has continued to use the airfield. American aircraft launched hundreds of combat sorties from the base at the height of the conflict against the Islamic State in 2016 and 2017.